Hey everybody, Scott Monday with Kitchen and Bath Crate, and I'm here today with my friend Alyssa Rudel with Synergy One Lending, and we're giving you your summer 2022 marketing report. And Alyssa, what is the one thing that's on everybody's mind right now?
Interest rates.
Interest rates, right? I'm sure you out there have some questions about that, and Alyssa is an expert in this realm. And so Alyssa, you're kind enough to talk with us and the folks out there about how this whole thing about interest rates plays into home renovation, refi, home equity lines of credit, all those types of things, right?
Yes.
Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited too. So let's get going. And so Alyssa, talk with the folks out there. What is kind of in general going on right now in the lending market? And then we'll kind of dive into some more specific questions.
Okay. So people are always going to buy and sell. So purchase market kind of remains a constant, slows a little bit maybe, but refinance have definitely cooled off due to the interest rates. So that's kind of the trend right now.
And what's really driving the interest rate movement at the moment?
Well, that's a loaded question, yeah.
A lot of layers on that.
Mortgage-backed securities, stocks and bonds, price of gas, prime rate, it's just all kind of tied in.
Dare I say, our economy just tends to move and ebb and flow,
right? Ebb and flow. It is an ebb and flow, yes.
Okay. So for folks out there that are kind of thinking about sources of funds for their remodel project, what are their, in general, what are their options in terms of financing?
Okay, so I'd say two primary options is to either do a full refi of your first mortgage, take the cash out that's needed in order to do the remodel project, or do a second mortgage, whether that's a line of credit or just a standalone second.
So what we see in the remodel sector right now are costs that are escalating at about a 10 to 15% clip. Is it safe to say that if a person wanted to refinance and use that money for a remodel now, we're probably going to see a lower interest rate on a refi than that 10 to 15% annual increase in costs? Is that correct?
Yes, correct. It is better interest rate wise, even though rates have increased, to absorb that into your mortgage because it's lower and it also still has the potential to be a tax write-off.
Right, and not to mention there's a chance that, not a chance, you actually will enjoy the actual remodeled space for that time that you might otherwise be waiting.
Absolutely, and I think the best thing to say to that is you're married to your house, you're not married to your interest rate. So if you're taking a higher interest rate now on your mortgage, that doesn't mean that once this ebb and flow goes back down, you can't refinance into a lower interest rate at that time.
And all this is couched within the concept that each person needs to make their own financial decisions when it comes to these types of things. This is just some helpful information to know about in terms of the person's decision points. Is that correct?
Yes, and knowledge is power. Research all of your options. Find out what it looks like on a refinance to do that fully. Research what that looks like to do a line of credit and find out where is the cost to savings on that.
So you bring up a good point. If a person wants more information like interest rates or what their options are for how to fund a remodel, should they just go online and Google it, or what's the way to approach that?
You can, but it's specific to each person. So I would say contact somebody like a loan officer to be able to really research what options are best for you.
Okay, that makes sense. Is it because each person's individual situation is different and so you'd need detailed, precise information? Is that the reason?
Yes, very much so. Interest rates are strongly based on credit score, how much equity you have in your home, just a number of different factors that you'd want to make sure to know that before you got into anything.
That makes sense. Now, a lot of our customers, they spend anywhere from 6 to 18 months preparing for a remodel. They're thinking about their design options, and part of that preparation is on the financial side. So if we have someone that's watching that's I'm not a Kitchen and Bath Crate customer at the moment, but I'm looking to do that maybe in 2024 or something like that, what are things they could be doing to prepare to be in a good space to take advantage of financing should they need it?
I would say the number one thing is credit score. depending on where you think you're at right now, making sure that by the time you want to do that remodel, you are in the best position possible credit-wise.
Okay. Is there like a checklist for that, or like how does a person know what they need to do to kind of like get credit ready?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different options as far as apps that are available to help you track your credit score, but I would say the best thing is to have somebody, potentially a loan officer, pull the credit and review that and find out what the tasks are for your specific report to be able to get that score into the target range for the lowest interest rate possible.
And are there things a person can be doing now that like puts them in a better spot in the future? Is it like a proactive type of thing?
Definitely. There's always something, I mean, unless you know that you just have absolutely stellar credit, there's always something that you could be doing to improve upon your score.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a surprise question. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
You love surprise questions.
I'd love surprise
So
questions.
I know you don't have a crystal ball, right? None of us do.
Yeah.
But kind of like, if you and I are just, chatting over a beer, or I don't know, do you drink beer?
I'm more a wine person.
Okay, so chatting over a glass of wine, and I said, hey, Alyssa, what does the future hold in terms of kind of like this whole refi market and those types of things? Like, any comments on that? Or do you want to refrain?
Well, the refi market is going to be interesting, I think, because consumer debt is at an all-time high right now.
Well, what does that mean for the refi market?
Well, let's say that you have 5 different credit cards, and they're all now at 16 to 18% in interest rate, and you have your mortgage that's at 3.5%. Does it make more sense to still absorb that credit debt into your mortgage because your overall output per month is going to be lower? Again, you're married to your house, you're not married to your interest rate. So if that does make more sense to lower the total output, if that's what's important to you, then it still could make sense to do a refinance.
Gotcha. That makes total sense. Absolutely. Well, great. Well, I really appreciate you joining me today and kind of sharing with me and the folks out there about kind of what this market's doing and how to prepare for potentially a project in the next 12 to 24 months. So Alyssa, if folks have any questions for you specifically or would like to kind of learn more about what's going on in this market, what would be the best way to get a hold of you?
Definitely on my cell phone, which is 209-380-1197.
And they just call you on your cell phone?
Call me, text me.
That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, cool. Well, thanks for joining me. kbCRATE.com if you'd like to be inspired for that project 12 to 24 months from now. Or if you're ready right now, maybe you've already met with Alyssa and you're ready to rock and roll. Or maybe you just have a money tree in the backyard, so you don't need to finance anything. 888-995-7996. You can talk with Paula. She'll set you up with an in-home consultation, and we'd love to meet with you. So thanks again, Alyssa.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
All right, have a good rest of your day.